changes. All I want is a moment to think clearly, but thoughts come unrelenting, consuming every waking moment. My mind binds me and I can't escape. I shout for help when no one hears me. One day I feel I'll just disappear, lost in this chaos. I'm certain.
Oh, wow. Is it deja vu or what? We even
Welcome
still
to
have
the
the blue colors.
WCW cat. Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we're not talking about Starcade right now? What?
No.
All right. But hey, I mean, we are back, ya boys, the WCW Tag Team Champions. This is Neek Down, Nick Larocco, whatever you want to call me. I am right here. We did a lot of talking previously, so we are going to do our best. But of course, if I'm the tag team champion, I'd have to have a second person there holding my title. Who is it? Who is it? Oh, it's this guy right over here.
It's me. Well, I don't have a name that rhymes with DDP, but I'm Mac. I'm Curbside Hero, and I am here to discuss a storyline heavy SmackDown, but good nonetheless.
Yeah, no, honestly, I did not have a bad time getting through this episode of SmackDown. Like, I feel like we sometimes have, especially in the last few weeks. But, you know, we get that final segment going with the continuation of the deep and bitter and personal rivalry between Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes. So much so that Cody got taken down. In fact, we even had a reference to Stardust in there.
Now, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a
ahead.
question? Did that Stardust shirt that KO was wearing have him with the title over its shoulder? I saw like a WWE.
I swear, yeah.
I was like, is that a custom-made shirt? Did he get Stardust holding the undisputed title? I'm like, this guy's a fucking menace.
He had to like go and get that specially made. He was ready with that.
He went to Temu to get that.
I guarantee if like you go and do a Temu search right this second or an Etsy, you will find that very shirt.
You will find it, yeah. But what did you think of the final segment, Nick? It ended with Cody being restrained by security and KO taking an open shot to the head with the Undisputed Championship.
Yeah, that was a big pop right there. It was always pretty nice to see our boys Gregory Helms and Daivari there as part of the group trying to separate these guys. But
WCW's Hurricane or Greg Helms?
Let's go. It's time for some recount. But yeah, I dug what it was with these guys, and they have some tremendous chemistry. The way these guys work together is phenomenal, and I'm excited for their bout at Saturday Night's Main Event.
KO's car interviews. I think that's his staple. Like that has his name written all over it now. I especially like
taking over the Kevin Owens show.
Yeah, I actually like the line where he said you were more interesting as Stardust to get under Cody's skin, and it worked. Like Cody's showing that Kevin can get under his skin. That might work to his detriment tomorrow night. Which I will also be here for the post Saturday Night's Main Event show.
Let's go.
The perks of vacation. Let's go.
Yes, we stand vacations. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have PTO, make sure you use it.
Yeah, especially if it runs out at the end of the year and you don't get any return on your investment. Get out of work now.
Yeah, it's yours. You use it when you need to.
Yes. But any final words on that segment, Nick, or are we going to shoot right back to the top of the show?
I didn't personally have anything myself. I'm doing a quick search right now, see if we had any dark matches or so. I know we had even Big Luke Gallows on a dark match with Austin Theory last week, and they've been kind of getting repetitive. Yeah, so
yeah.
Let's see if we're getting anything there.
Kind of like the Satnam Singh Colt Cabana matches before every Dynamite.
For like 4 or 5 months straight. They might not have the dark matches here though, because I believe they are doing another pre-tape like right now.
So the big thing I saw was, oh no, we're going to get the Saturday Night's Main Event like matches ruined for us. Listen, WWE does a good job of taking the Saturday night or taking a double taping that happens after an important show and not putting the people that were on the show on that show, or they do backstage vignettes that aren't shown to the live crowd. They get around it sometimes. I don't know if they'll do it this time, but I remember the last time they did a SmackDown and then there was a pay-per-view or a special event in the middle. They did a good job of hiding it from the live crowd.
Absolutely. And one of the things I'll say too about WWE, one that they've honestly, I wouldn't want to say perfected, but that they're really specialists on, is being able to make pre-tapes in their own way for the most part. Pretty exciting. They had a tendency way back in the day for pre-tape SmackDown shows, when they were pre-taping them on the Tuesday nights going for Thursday or Friday airings. I used to think they were awesome in the sense of, okay, you might have known what happened and you might have known who's going to be on the show, but that kind of made you excited for it. As time progressed, it might not have been as exciting, and you could argue nowadays too it doesn't hold that same quality, but I think they're pretty good at being able to capitalize on that with pre-tapes.
Two things. Number one, when they were taping SmackDown back in the Attitude Era when I was in high school, that will tell you how old I am. I was one of the few people that knew the sites to go to get the SmackDown results. So I would go to Staples and print out and staple together the results of SmackDown and sell them out of my book bag for $5 to the wrestling fans in school.
That is actually really cool. I used to do recordings on VHS tapes of the different pay-per-views, and it's entirely possible that might have had a Neek Buster at some point.
There you go. And number two, people saying that they're going to be spoiled. You don't have to read the fucking results. Just don't read the results. Stay offline. Stay off of Twitter. Stay off of Twitter for not even just for SmackDown. Just stay off of Twitter. It's a bad place.
Yeah, just get away. Run, hide.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself.
But I understand they're going to be everywhere and they're going to be kind of hard to avoid. I mean, you open up Facebook, and if you're following a wrestling fan site, we're not going to post them. So just stick to Dirt Sheet Radio. Just stick to our feed. Don't go to any other feed. Who cares about any other feed? We're your number one source for wrestling information.
Boom.
All right. So now SmackDown opened with various shots of superstars arriving to the arena and doing things backstage before we went live to a big Jimmy Uso entrance. He came out with a crutch for his broken toe that he suffered at War Games jumping off the cage. Crowd starts chanting "Yeet," and he says, "Oh, I think you have the wrong twin brother," which was pretty funny. He spoke about how everyone in his family. He spoke about how everyone has family that they don't like, but he's been watching his family dominate WWE since he was kids. And as he was about to he even said that he likes Solo. He doesn't like the stuff that he's doing now, but he loves Solo. Just as he was about to wrap up and say his name, guess who shows up with a big claymore? Drew fucking McIntyre.
Out of nowhere.
Jimmy Uso takes the claymore kick right to the head, and it took a handful of officials to stop the attack, which was great. What do you think of Jimmy's? Jimmy doesn't get much promo time. What do you think of Jimmy's promo?
He definitely would get distracted here and there in certain parts, but I can't blame him. The Usos have just been very hot the last couple of years, and especially this year. I thought it was really fun too, how he was kind of playing along. Anytime you hear those, when there's always that one stray fan that always shouts something, right? So he's always been one to, kind of react to that. He did that a few times here, and I really liked when he was saying, "I'm the wrong brother." But you know what? It was great to be able to get a little bit more personality and flavor from Jimmy Uso, because I feel like we've had a lot of stuff from Jay, but we really don't get the chance to get a lot from Jimmy. And I don't know where Drew McIntyre came in from, because usually when there's a run-in, you're going to be hearing people screaming.
Yeah.
It's like he just all of a sudden teleported in there and was like, bam!
Yeah, just no-clipped right in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Now, Drew McIntyre cut that promo on Raw saying that everybody ran with their tails tucked between their legs back to Roman. At least CM Punk took a bribe. Does it seem to you that McIntyre is going to focus on Sami Zayn, or does it look like now he's going after everybody that was involved with going back with Roman?
I think he's, yeah, like you said, he's going to be going after everybody and Roman and then some. Like, this is going to be a Drew McIntyre who's just out for blood, and it doesn't matter who is in his way. He's going to be just the one-man army leading through this.
I think WWE is doing a great job of flipping all of the storylines from 2022, 2023 on its head and making the baby faces the heels now. And having Drew McIntyre go after a babyface bloodline and fans chanting for the bloodline instead of Drew McIntyre kind of feels bizarro land. And I give kudos to WWE for their strong booking of this and completely flipping the script and turning the tables on us. I'll take it back to WrestleMania when Triple H, after Roman lost the title, somebody asked Triple H, is this the end of the bloodline storyline? And he goes, no. He goes, if you think that you've seen the best that we can do, like, wait until what we do, see what we do next. And I know a lot of people give Triple H shit, but the man was not lying.
Yeah, no, and honestly, the way he was saying it, it made it feel like we are only in the halfway point.
Yeah.
There's still so much more to explore.
I understand people are getting a little sick of the bloodline, but now we have everybody doing their own thing. Like, Sammy's kind of doing his own thing while still being associated with the bloodline. Jay's kind of off on his singles thing. Jimmy's out hurt right now. Roman is focused on getting the Ula Fala. And then you have Drew McIntyre on his own mission against the bloodline that I don't even think the bloodline, well, they might be aware now that he attacked Sammy and Jay, but I don't even think Roman's got laser vision on Solo, so he's not even aware yet. So
yeah,
it's going to be an interesting next couple of months to see this story develop.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think too with everything Drew McIntyre related, we also have that promo from when he walked off of Busted Open that everyone's been talking about on the Twitter Xverse.
Yeah, I think that's deeply rooted in kayfabe. A lot of people were saying that it was a shoot, but I think Drew's just so good at his job that people thought it was a shoot, and I think that's that's what Drew wanted them to think. So being good at your job is something that Drew McIntyre is exemplary at. So
it's the beauty of what Drew McIntyre is capable of doing, and Drew has been on his A game ever since. Gosh, I'd say ever since the 3MB era, which even then he was making a lot of good stuff about. Hey, if you even watch that dark match from SmackDown, it was like 2007 when it was him and Dave Taylor taking on the Nasty Boys. Like, Drew was single-handedly saving that match from well, that was. So he's always been a real workhorse, and it's really cool to see the fruits of his labor after all of this time. And he's just so good. I am really happy to see him rise up through the ranks again and be that top star.
Yeah, and it's also fun to you have appreciation for Drew McIntyre. You like Drew McIntyre, but it's also fun to boo Drew McIntyre because that's what he wants you to do. He doesn't want to be the cool heel. He wants you to boo him. So if you go to an event, boo Drew McIntyre. Give him everything that he needs because the guy deserves the entire world.
Absolutely. And he's another one of those heels where he has a believable reason for being a heel, and it's very understandable, and that's why we appreciate him.
Absolutely. All right. So SmackDown kicked off with the first match of the night was the Women's U.S. title tournament semifinal between Michin and Tiffany Stratton. First couple of minutes of this match, both struggled to gain control before Michin was
Tiffany looked tremendous.
Oh, she did. Yeah, she looked like a sexy Christmas tree. But Michin was tripped up on the apron and put Tiffany in the driver's seat. That stomp on the apron that Tiffany does all the time looks so good, man. She puts all of her proverbial ass into it and just kills you. It looked great. They cut to break. We came back. We returned to see Stratton attempt another double stomp, but Michin avoided this one, and Tiffany crashed to the floor. The match started with a couple of sloppy moments, but it got going. But Michin barely avoided Tiffany's moonsault after she attempted it. Michael Cole thought that Tiffany had hit the moonsault and said that she hit it, and Michin got up right away and hit Eat Defeat, and she advances, and that shocked everybody to boos, which was crazy because Michin has been working her ass off this year, and Tiffany has the Money in the Bank briefcase. She's eventually gonna, well, it looks like later, eventually gonna cash in. So,
Yeah.
you know, I think I gave this match a C. I think there were some sloppy moments, but Tiffany's really good, and Michin's really good. I think if they were given more time, they would have been able to figure it out there towards the middle where it was a little bit sloppy. But they made the most of what they for what they were given.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'd give it maybe a B minus, C plus. It wasn't the greatest match. You know, we know both ladies are capable of much more, but for what we did get, it was solid, and so were the way they were hitting each other and slamming each other. Gosh,
oh yeah.
Alabama slam just took all of the wind right out of Michin.
Dude. It looked so painful, dude. Oh my God. It looked really, but Michael Cole thinking that she hit the moonsault at the end, made the last couple of seconds really awkward. But overall, here for Michin, you know, she's getting the shine off of Nia Jax. She had that great championship match with Nia Jax, the street fight where she got killed in the trash can.
Right.
Then she has the great dumpster match with Chelsea Green, and now she's advancing to the finals of the WWE United States Women's Championship Tournament.
Dude, I'm still waiting for an episode of SmackDown to surpass that episode where we had the dumpster match and the ladder match. Like, that was,
it was
such
so good.
a great episode.
Yeah,
that was a go-home show.
I think we did like 2 hours on that, which was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so do you have any final thoughts on that, Neek?
Not really. It was, not the worst match, but cartwheel Alabama slam. I mean, Michin being able to counter. There was a lot of good stuff. You could tell there's chemistry between the two, between both Michin and Tiffy. I just, like you said, wish that they would have got a little bit more time.
Yeah, but overall, women's wrestling on SmackDown is genuinely fun. I have a lot of fun watching it. So up next, Roman Reigns delivered a pre-tape promo from a boat dock to issue a challenge to Solo Sikoa for the first Raw 2025 on Netflix, January 6th, to finally decide who the rightful tribal chief is. And it will be for the Ula Fala in a tribal combat match. Now, we've seen a couple of tribal combat matches over the past couple of months. WrestleMania, most famously. We saw one at SummerSlam between Jey Uso and Roman Reigns. And we saw another one too. Wasn't it SummerSlam this year with Solo Sikoa and Cody?
Yeah, I want to say yes.
Yeah. So that's they're really loading up this Raw to be like a mini pay-per-view, which is awesome.
It's going to deliver, absolutely.
Yeah. What did you, Nick? What were your thoughts on the "I'm on a boat" promo by Roman?
I thought, visually speaking, it was phenomenal. This was just pure cinema, and not much more to say really. It's just absolutely what it needs to be, and I'm glad Roman's able to have these more cinematic moments because I think he really shines in these, and I wouldn't be surprised to find out this was yet another one of those filmed on an iPhone promos that they've been doing with him.
Yeah, I gave a lot of shit to the CM Punk and Roman sit-down interview a couple of weeks ago because I thought it felt like too convoluted and contrived, and I thought it kind of like was a little bit too much. But this was just the right amount of cinema that I like in a promo. I thought this was good because Roman feels like the kind of guy that would go to that type of setting and have those camera angles and stuff like that. So he feels big time. The promo felt big time, and this match feels big time. So mission accomplished by WWE there.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so up next we had let's see, Carmelo Hayes is walking backstage. He runs into Nick Aldis and says that his next opponent is going to be light work. And Nick Aldis shrugs it off and says, light work, huh? And Carmelo makes his way to the ring. Mystery opponent turns out to be what Dr. Chris Featherland said the other day, which is the monster amongst men, Braun Strowman. The match started out with Hayes tried to shove him and was surprised when Strowman didn't budge. He tried to springboard cross-body block. That didn't work. He just bounced right off of Strowman. About 30 seconds later, Strowman hit his finisher for an easy and quick win. So the report here says that this could have been a fun based on what we saw, but WWE opted to give the Monster Amongst Men a decisive win in his return. It may not be exciting, but it made him look like a beast. It was basically a squash, and these two showed a lot of chemistry, so hopefully Hayes gets another chance at Strowman soon because it's a good big man, little man matchup.
Absolutely. I mean, you got 7-foot monster in Braun Strowman, who is a legitimate powerlifting champion. I mean, you gotta book this guy as an absolute beast, as a titan. And just the fact, I saw a lot of people being like, look what they're doing to our boy Mello, but honestly, you just got destroyed by someone who is way bigger, way stronger than you, who is a multi-time world champion already. I see nothing wrong with Mello losing the way he did here. Plus, he gets to have that built-in excuse of, I had no idea who my opponent was. I was preparing for someone completely different, So I thought that these two guys actually, for what time they did have together, worked really nicely. And I think that this is easily opening up the door for more things between these two guys. And I'd also wouldn't mind a little bit, doesn't have to be the full length of that, but not to get all WCW in here. I wouldn't mind having Strowman getting a little bit of a Goldberg streak here and there on SmackDown and just squashing and killing the low card for a bit.
Yeah. What I like about Hayes is that he's very expressive with his face.
Yeah.
The look on Hayes' face after Strowman shrugged off the crossbody was hilarious. I mean, it looked like Strowman was really excited to be back, and I'm happy for him. I mean, I'm not the biggest Braun Strowman fan, but he looks amazing. He looks in shape. He's a fucking monster. He's 7 foot tall. He's 360 pounds. So I can see why. I can see his appeal.
Absolutely. And, I just posted on my Facebook that video of when Darby Allin dove out to Satnam Singh and just bounced right off him. Immediately saw, I pointed at the TV. I'm like, I love it. This is exactly what I want to be seeing from Braun Strowman.
Yeah. So is this where we got the... So Nick Aldis is walking with Drew McIntyre. Well, we skipped that. I'm going back to that. He was walking backstage with Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis says that now he has to do all this paperwork and he wants to talk to Drew McIntyre, but Bianca and Naomi come in frame. And Nick Aldis tells Drew McIntyre to go into his office. Nick tells Bianca that he has no choice but to strip her of the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. Bianca says that there has to be another way. Naomi steps up and says, listen, Bianca's never been stripped of anything in her life. I don't want her to have a stripped title on her record. So I will take her place. I'll take Jade's place as her tag team championship partner if it's okay with you. And Nick Aldis says, I'll have to run it up the flagpole, but it seems okay. And they give each other a hug. And it looks like now Naomi is one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions along with Bianca Belair.
Sus.
Very, very sus. But I still don't know if it's Bianca who did it to Jade so that she could have Naomi as her partner. It could work out that way, or it could work out that Naomi was the one that put Jade. I would like it to be Bianca and that she did it so that Naomi could be her partner, and now this is what she's wanted all along, so that when Jade comes back, she gets attacked by both of them because they were in a plan all along. But I don't think WWE is that smart to do that. I think it's just going to be Naomi, and she's going to be a heel for the first time in her career.
Which I can't wait to see. I think she's going to excel in that because she tends to excel at everything she does. But what can I say? I love Naomi. She's an absolutely phenomenal talent, and I can't wait to see more from this.
We go backstage. Well, that was earlier. I skipped that by mistake. So right after the Mellow match, we go backstage, and LA Knight is LA Knight is talking to Byron Saxton. Knight mispronounces the Ulafala during his backstage interview,
and it was hard to tell which feels offensive.
Yeah, he said it was hard to tell if he did it on purpose or if it was a joke, and he said it wrong by mistake. He says he was asked to be in the War Games match by the OG Bloodline. He said no because it wasn't his business. But last week, Solo Sikoa got in his way, and he got into his business, so he's going to take out Solo Sikoa. What'd you think about this interview, Nick?
The mispronunciation, I think, was my biggest focus, and it was one of those things, too, where I can't tell if it impacted my opinion or focus on the promo, because that was literally all I was zeroing in on. And it was me being like, I can't tell if he's joking or if, like they said, like if that was an accident,
But after being attacked by the New Bloodline last week, Knight took on Sikoa in a singles match, attempt to get some revenge. Sikoa took control almost immediately with the series of strikes. The would-be tribal chief was clearly angry and wanted to take it out on LA Knight. While Knight certainly got in some offense, it felt like Sikoa was controlling the pace more often than not, which made sense, especially in the situation. Knight began to make a comeback after a commercial break and hit several high-impact moves, but he wasn't able to keep the Street Champion down for the count. Fatua, who had been taken out by Knight earlier in the match, ended up attacking Knight by pulling him through the ropes to cause a disqualification. He and Tama Tonga decimated him before rolling him into the ring so that Sikoa could finish him off with the Samoan Spike. The majority of this match was solid, and the ending felt like lazy booking. Apollo and Andrade attempted to help, but they were taken out by Sikoa and his crew. So officially, LA Knight defeats Solo Sikoa, but by a disqualification.
Yeah, I really love the way all of a sudden, like, LA Knight looks like he has just been through like 10 rounds with Prime Era Mike Tyson, and then all of a sudden, boom, bouncing up from behind, a wild Jacob Fatu appears up on top of the commentary table, basically. He's just ready to go. And oh my gosh, it was so cool. Anytime he does anything, I am just captivated. He is truly a superstar in the making, and I cannot wait to see more. I mean, I'm legitimately looking at him, and I always want to, do that Brock Lesnar call back and just call him the next big thing,
Yeah. I wanted to make note that Knight's drop kick through the rope to take out Tama was smooth as shit, dude.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Dude, Knight was on his A game tonight.
Yeah.
At least in the ring and not during his promos.
Yeah. Solo attempted to use the Superman punch for the in the match, but it didn't work out. He ended up getting Saito suplexed for his attempt. But overall, Nick, what did you think of the match? Do you think that Knight hung with Sikoa or vice versa? What'd you think?
I think this was definitely a matter of Sikoa trying to hang with Knight, and I think, the writing was on the wall for this, but that doesn't always mean it's a bad thing. It's just really how they handle it and how well done it is. And I think in this instance, it was quite well done. I mean, we mentioned it last week, how we foresaw, is going to become the Neo Bloodline taking on LA Knight and Apollo Crews and Andrade, following their just random attacks on them and jumping them. So this is most likely going to be building towards that 6-man tag at some point, if they're not pre-taping that later tonight.
They're probably doing it tonight.
Yeah, so that we saw the writing on the wall for that one, but again, that doesn't mean it was necessarily a bad thing. And I thought this match was actually pretty decent. I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10. It wasn't terrible. And I think, it advanced where we needed to go with, the 6-man tag.
Yeah. So up next, we saw some pics were shown of WWE superstars visiting some students, and Omos was there.
Yeah, where's he been?
I totally forgot he was part of the WWE. But yeah, after that was the last semifinal match for the WWE United States Women's Championship between Bayley and Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green.
Yeah, so as always, Piper Niven was at ringside to support Green. As soon as the bell rang, Bayley hit what looked like a belly-to-belly suplex, but it only got a 2 count. They traded some near falls before Green counted the role model for some body shots. When they had some good moments, there were sections of the match that it felt like they had really good chemistry, but that went out the window. It was difficult to describe, but it seemed like either there was a miscommunication, or one of them was working through an injury and it affected the performance. It was only noticeable because other parts of the match looked great. Bayley nearly avoided a count out, but was able to get back in the ring after she was thrown over the barricade. Bayley got back in the ring, but before she could get up, Chelsea Green kicked her right in the teeth, picked her up, hit the unpretty her, and Chelsea Green is going to the finals against Meechin tomorrow night at Saturday night's main event.
She is so close
To be crowned the first ever Women's United States champion. Wow, Chelsea. And I think she's going to win it, because I think Meechin won their feud earlier this year, and I think Chelsea's got the advantage. What did you think of this match, Nick? I thought it was excellent.
Yeah, honestly, I thought this was a very good match, and I believe this was also the true main event for tonight. And yeah, this was perfect semifinal match. I'm glad we got through the semifinals in the same night. And I think that Chelsea Green deserves a run. She's been so entertaining, without a doubt, one of the most entertaining women's wrestlers on the whole roster. And I'm glad that, she's, even if she doesn't win it, though, I'm glad she's able to get her due. And yeah, her and Piper are so incredible together.
Yeah. I thought I had one problem with the match. That random Lion King ad that wasn't a commercial in the middle of their match. Like, I understand you have advertisers. I understand you're partnering with this new Lion King movie. But for the love of Christ, you had a 3-minute fucking trailer in the middle of SmackDown. And then 20 minutes later, during one of the biggest matches of the night, you do another promo and put it in picture. And granted, Chelsea just had Bayley in a Randy Orton chin lock for about a minute. So I'm sure that they knew what was going on, but still, Also, Bleacher Report noted that I don't know if you noticed this, Nick, but the crowd sounded very strange after the break. It sounded like the mics WWE used to pick up the crowd noise wasn't working. Did you notice that at all?
I did not notice that, but yeah, I want to probably look back at that now, because I'm sure it probably sounds very off, and I guarantee that there's probably some people who are taking that and probably feeling like, oh, you see, the Chelsea Green's just not a good competitor and not a draw in any way. It's like, no, it was the glitch where the mic's not working. Don't deny Chelsea.
Yeah. So right after that, we saw Tiffany Stratton.
Hold on. I want to say one thing. I want to see this on Saturday night's main event. At the very end, I want this to be what we see at the end. I want her to become the new Women's United States champion. Thank you.
Absolutely. We're all in the Chelsea Green train. She's tremendous.
Yes.
So the last thing that we saw tonight, because we already went over the main event, was Tiffany Stratton walking backstage with her Money in the Bank briefcase. Nia comes up to her and says, some people just aren't destined to be a singles champion in WWE, And Tiffany looks at her briefcase while Nia is distracted by Candice LeRae walking up. Candice LeRae says, oh, too bad, Tiffy, but while you failed, I just went to Nick Aldis's office, and myself and Nia Jax have a women's tag team championship match against Naomi and Bianca Belair next week. And Nia could be a double champion. It said, too bad you're not going to be a double champion. And she walks away, and Tiffany had that look on her face with the briefcase like, tomorrow night, bitch.
This can be it. It will truly be Tiffy time.
See, I don't think they're going to cash it in tonight because that means that they would have to tape the SmackDown, and they want Tiffany.
Balance
So
that
it's
out.
probably So it might happen during that tag team title match. Who knows? I think they might do it at a special event, but on a random SmackDown, like who knows? They put a 3-team tag team title ladder match on a random SmackDown, even though it was a go home show. But
and it was goated.
Yeah. What did you think of that segment, Nick? Do you think it got the point across that Tiffy is getting a little bit tired of Nia Jax and Candice's bullshit?
I definitely think so, and Tiffy time is just something that you cannot deny. I know when she first came out onto the scene, I was personally not a believer because I'm just so used to that average WWE model type when they get they get that kind of well-defined like women's wrestler, because Tiffany Stratton is absolutely like the stereotypical WWE create a wrestler for the female division, and that doesn't have to be a bad thing. Like you could say the same thing for a Randy Orton.
That's not a bad thing at all. She reminds me of a young Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, and I think she looked incredible tonight, and I have quickly become such a big fan of hers, and I cannot wait to see what she does. And I really hope that Tiffany does get to have truly that Tiffy time.
I mean, she proved it when she was in NXT and she was going up against Becky and Lila Valkyria. Like, I mean, she's got it, man. She's the complete package, and
I
she's going to be
her performance at the Royal Rumble, especially this year, where she was able to showcase what she could do with some amazing top women and legends as well. Yeah.
But overall, Nick, 5 stars. What would you give tonight's WWE Smackdown telecast on the USA Network?
I'm going to give this show a nice 3.75 stars. Very easy to watch. It felt like the average SmackDown, but again, that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. I'm just still waiting for a SmackDown standard that will hit that episode we talked about with the dumpster match, with the triple ladder match. So I'm still waiting for that episode.
We also forgot to mention the vignettes with DIY and the Motor City Machine Guns, basically just saying that it was a plan all along from DIY. And then Alex Shelley cut a promo and challenged Johnny Gargano to a match next week on SmackDown. Nick, in big 2024, did you ever think you would see the highlight of the night, Alex Shelley versus Johnny Gargano on WWE Smackdown?
Dude, that is absolutely wild to think about. Like, imagine telling yourself 10 years ago that that's going to be a thing.
Oh my God. Imagine Pavarazzi Productions versus The Fist in Chikara.
Dude, I'm excited for what this match is going to entail, but at the same time, there's so many crazy things in professional wrestling, and what is it with pro wrestling this year where it's been the most wild thing that you would never anticipate in this timeline?
Yeah, man, like
this is timeline defying.
I mean, I know that it's not a new company, but I got to give a shout out to DPW. I just subscribed to DPW on demand, and I've been watching some of their shows while I'm on vacation because I'm minding my animals while my parents are on vacation. And I just watched the 2024 Carolina Classic, and it was a tremendous show. It was main evented by Speedball Mike Bailey versus Jake Something for the #1 contendership to the DPW World's title. And wrestling this year is just so amazing. You got your tribalists out there, you got your naysayers, you got your people saying that Dynamite's only getting 500,000 viewers, but not realizing that it has 500,000 viewers on a Wednesday night at 8 o'clock, Wrestling is just tremendous, man. Like, it feels like DPW really picked up where Ring of Honor left off. It really feels like old style, like Ring of Honor, with all indie guys and guys that are signed from all over the country. Speedball Mike Bailey. In their company, they used to have Jay Malachi, who's now Javon Evans in NXT. They had Lucky Ali, who is Saquon Sugars in NXT now. I can't, Motor City Machine Guns were just their tag team champions 3 months ago.
Right.
Yeah, it's wrestling is just awesome this year, man, and I'm really hoping the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks. What do we got left in 2024? Like 20. What do we got? 25 days left or 20? What's today?
Got 2 full. Today's the 13th, so we got 2
2
full
full
weeks and then 3 days following that, and
All
then
right,
tomorrow.
so we got 17 days left in the year. Man, 2024 has been a great year for wrestling, and I hope we can cap it off with some great shows by the end of the year.
Absolutely. Cannot wait. I think at this point in time, now we can go quickly through some of our segments. Of course, we got to look at who our jobber of the night is, powered by comicbookclick.com. Mac, who would you say is the jobber for tonight's episode of SmackDown?
Okay, I know a lot of people are going to think I'm going to say Carmelo, but I think he did his job correctly and, came off like the small guy that he is and portrayed himself. I'm going to go with 2 because they were both in the same segment and I consider them one now. I'm going to go with Apollo and Andrade, who ran out to get their asses whipped. Yeah, they just came out. They did absolutely nothing. It's probably going to lead to a 6-man tag match where they're going to all get destroyed collectively by Jacob Fatu. So, they're Apollo Crews and Andrade are my jobbers of the night. What about you, Nick? Who do you got?
That's a good choice. I am struggling between 2 of them. I want to put the first one out there as just Jade Cargill. You just lost your tag title without even really being there, but so is life. That's how that happens. But again, it's a little sus. And another jobber of the night. This one's a shout out because there's nothing wrong with being jobber of the night. And like we said, I want to go with Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes did his job and did his job well. And oh my gosh, I thought he made Braun Strowman look incredible, which itself becomes a thing now where I'm like, okay, he does this jobber role pretty good. I hope they don't think he does it too good and keeps him there a la Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, those are good picks, man. Those are good picks.
But then we get to do our picks now on the other side of the coin, the Megastar of the Night, powered by the Cold Case Project. And now going in reverse order. This is a tough one, but I feel like I have to say it just because it's her, but I gotta go with Chelsea Green. And I want to give a quick shout out to Tiffany Stratton for just looking amazing.
I'm going to go with Chelsea Green. I think she's amazing. You know how I feel about Piper Niven. You know how I feel about her. I think they're 2 of the most entertaining people on the not just women, but wrestlers on the roster right now. Chelsea's not the best wrestler in the world, but her charisma, her mannerisms, and her aura definitely make up for it. And having Piper with her is it just proves when WWE knows what they're doing, they really know what they're doing.
Absolutely.
Was Chelsea with Sonya Deville, and then Sonya Deville got injured, and then they put her with Piper Niven? Was that the timeline?
That sounds correct to me.
Yeah, I think that was it. Because I think Sonya tore her ACL. She went out. She got married. She came back.
Yes.
And started the Pure Fusion collection on Raw.
PFC.
Yeah. So, Chelsea Green's my megastar of the night. She's great.
Absolutely. Double shout out to Chelsea Green. And hey, let's go real quick through our match of the night, powered by Delphin Pod Podcasts. Mac, what was your match of the night, buddy?
I'm going to go with Solo Sikoa and LA Knight, even though it ended in a fuck finish. I thought it was really entertaining. I was under no pretenses that LA Knight had a shot to win, especially after they announced the tribal combat for the Raw Netflix. But wrestling surprises me, and when he missed that Superman punch and LA Knight hit that side effect, side slam, I thought he was gonna pull it out. I was like, oh my god, are they gonna pull it out? Is this gonna happen? And stupid me, nope. The bloodline always wins. LOL. But I did bite on a couple of the false finishes. I gotta be honest with you. But yeah, so LA Knight and LA Knight and Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu being out there just added to the absolute chaos, and I loved every minute of it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a good choice. On my end, I'm thinking long and hard, but I really want to give this match some love. I know some people might hate on this decision, but it's mine to make. I want to go with Mello and Braun Strowman. That was a very easy match to watch, and even though, yeah, it was kind of a glorified squash match, it did its job. Mello got to shine in a unique way that I think a lot of wrestlers forget about, and that's just the art of selling. And on top of that, Braun Strowman, again, he looked tremendous, and he felt like a monster, which is how he absolutely should. So, and plus too, I think this absolutely opens the door for a rematch at the very least down the line, if not probably getting filmed tonight. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I gotta give a shout out to that one.
Yeah, but overall, I gave SmackDown 3 stars. Good. If they had focused on the wrestling a little bit more instead of advancing storylines, which I understand you have to do, you have to sacrifice some shows to do that. So I'm not mad at it because we got a lot of good match announcements. We got a lot of progressions of the stories. We got Chelsea and Michin. We got Roman and Solo. We got Alex Shelley and fucking Johnny Gargano next week.
Time, man.
And we got a women's tag team title match next week, which is probably being shot right now. They're probably in the ring wrestling right now. But yeah, I thought it was a good show, Nick.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And hey, if you enjoyed hearing us talk all about that good show, and if you stuck around from us talking about Starrcade 97, like we said, Dirt Sheet Radio, we are always on, and you can make sure to catch us tomorrow night when we're going to be talking all about Saturday night's main event following that show. But if you really enjoyed it, you can also stick around for the Monday Night Raw post-show rewind. And there's, of course, Tuesday for NXT, Wednesdays for Dynamite. Hey, you know what? You know who's on that show? Me. And you know what else I'm going to be doing? Bam, I'm going to pop some Lore of the Fighter on while we go through the rest of these. And hey, if you want to stick around and go and be a part of the Dirt Sheet Radio flagship podcast that started all of this, we hang out with myself, we hang out with Mac there, our boy John, our dude Greg, they're all in there. So we're going to have a lot of fun talking wrestling. Stay around later on your Thursday for some TNA Impact. We're going to be covering a lot of interesting things going on at the TNA pay-per-view. Is it Final Resolution?
Yes.
But, yeah, of course, you're already here for Smack Sound, Friday Nick Mac John, the SmackDown post-show rewind. So, of course, stick around and check that out again next week when we're going to be covering the pre-tape and, of course, looking towards the weekend. Bam! CJ and Tyler will be covering pro wrestling, and, of course, so will the 3NT Wrestling Podcast dudes. They are all incredible homies, the boys. And speaking of the boys, these two boys right here, we just talked for about almost 2 hours about Starrcade 1997. So, hey, go and check that out after this, and we'll talk all about why Starrcade 97 should have been one of the greatest WCW pay-per-views of all time, but instead was just a dud. And we'll talk about the news, the rumors, the innuendo, whatever you may think was going on into and out of the show. We're going to discuss all of that and then some. But I am Nick LaRocco. You can find me on Facebook as Nick LaRocco. A lot of my content's shared on the Facebook page, so give me a follow, give me a like, and I truly appreciate it. Mac, where are they going to find you?
You're going to find me Curbside Hero on Instagram, and you're going to find me right back here, maybe 24 hours from now, for our Saturday night main event post-show recap. Nick, are you going to be here?
Probably. We'll see. Hopefully. A lot can happen in 24 hours.
Yeah, I'll be here. John will probably be here. He's dressed in a suit somewhere at one of his wife's functions, so that's why you didn't see his beautiful face tonight. But yeah, Nick, this was fun, man. We talked for almost 3 hours about wrestling tonight.
Yeah, we did. That's par for the course for us, man. But yeah, Chad, thank you so much for joining us, and we're going to be seeing you tomorrow for